Hello students, hope you all are doing well. Welcome back to the e-learning classes of Sunrise Global School. This is Asmita Sharma, your science teacher, and we are going to study the chapter number 4, that is materials, metals and non-metals for class 8th. So, while starting the chapter, first of all, I will tell you that in this chapter we are basically going to study that what is the difference between metals and non-metals. So you may be familiar, you are familiar with a number of materials, like these materials could be iron, aluminium, copper, etc. So there are a variety of materials in our surrounding. But when we are told about to name a metal or to name a non-metal, we get confused between them, right? So in this chapter we are solely going to speak about what is the difference between both these types of materials and how we can differentiate them on the basis of their properties. So let's get started. So you are familiar with the number of materials like iron, aluminium, copper, etc. Now can you name the materials which are metals? No, right? So it will be a very much difficult for you to name a metal from a list of materials. So we can differentiate and we can learn how we can differentiate these materials on the basis of their properties. So metals can be distinguished from the non-metals on the basis of the physical and chemical properties. So here you have to remember that there are two types of properties. So these properties could be physical and also these could be chemical properties. So starting with the very first, that is the physical properties of metals and non-metals. You know that the shape of the iron nail and the aluminium wire changed on beating. So here first of all we are going to conduct an activity in which on the basis of which we will learn this physical properties. So first let us speak about this activity. Now what you have to do in this activity is you have to take a small nail, that is a iron nail, जिसे हम एक किली भी बोलते हैं. Apart from that you have to take a coal piece, a piece of a thick aluminium wire and a pencil lead. Okay, so all the four materials you have to first be prepared by taking all these materials. Now first of all what you have to do is beat the iron nail with a hammer. The nail that you have taken, you have to beat that nail with the help of a hammer, but take care that you don't hurt yourself in the process, because it is a very risky process and you have to be very much careful conducting this experiment, right? So first you have to hit it very much hard. So similarly, while heating a iron nail, you will continue the same process with a coal piece, with a piece of an aluminium wire and also with the pencil lead. Now while you do this activity, you also have to record the observations, that what you find out while you keep on hammering or keep on beating all the four materials, and what was the change that you felt, right? So if you have conducted this activity, there would be a following observations that you will see, and you will see that the shape of the iron nail and the aluminium wire changed on beating. So if we continuously beat hard to a iron nail, the shape of the nail will be changed, because the circular portion that is at the top of the nail will almost get changed into a small strip, right? And similarly the aluminium wire that you have hit hard will also change its shape, and this will become to a simple sheet. So if they were beaten harder, these could be changed into sheets. So you might be familiar with the silver foil used for decorating sweets. Silver foils are also used to keep the chapatis or to keep the food very much hot in the weather that is very much cold, or regularly in the kitchen your mom uses such aluminium foils, because they have a property that they keep the food much hotter in a longer span of time. So these silver foils are also used to decorate the sweets, the mithais that we eat. You must also be familiar with the aluminium foil used for wrapping food. The property of metals by which they can be beaten into thin sheets is called malleability. So this was the aluminum foil, the same aluminum which when a wire is transformed from a sheet, it takes the shape of a cylindrical, while these sheets are also used for wrapping foods to decorating sweets. So you see that a substance called aluminium is used to make so much a variety of things like wire, the foil that is used for decorating sweets, the foil that is used for wrapping foods, and many other substances that are made from this aluminium, right? But a property that this substance aluminium can change its shape. So from a cylindrical shape it came up in the thin sheet. This process, when a substance can change its shapes into a thin sheet, is called malleability. Now this type of characteristics or property is only seen in metals. While the activity that you conducted, if you can see it, the coal piece that you hammered very hard, the coal piece would have turned into powder form, and similarly the lead of the pencil that you hit very hard would also have turned into a powdered form. But iron and aluminium, both these substances could have changed into the sheets, or we can say into a thin strips. So this is the process where we have came to know that all these substances which cannot change into powder form but can be changed into single sheets have the property called malleability, and this type of characteristics states that these materials are called metals, correct? So if they were beaten harder, this could be changed into sheets. You might be familiar with the silver foil used for decorating sweets. So this whole slide also speaks about the malleability, that is the physical property of the metal. Okay, so after malleability, there is another property of metal which is called conductivity. Now, can you hold a hot metallic pen which is without a plastic or a wooden handle and not get hurt? So suppose you are going into the kitchen, you are touching a hot pan, but that pan doesn't has any handle, whether it could be a handle made up of plastic or made up of wooden, but there is a no handle. So what will happen? We will not be able to touch the pan because it is very much hot, right? So there are some other experiences in which wooden or plastic handle protect you from being hurt while handling hot things. So all there are many other examples where all the wooden or plastic handles help you to save you from the heat. Okay, on the basis of these experience, what you can say about the conduction of heat by wood or plastic? So you must have seen an electrician using his screwdriver. What kind of handle does it have? Why is the question. So if you have seen an electrician that might have came someday at your home for a work, so you must have seen there are various tools that he has, and in those tools there are various sizes of screwdrivers, but one thing common in all those screwdrivers is their handle. So all the screwdrivers have handles, right? And these handles are generally made of some substances that can be majorly plastic. So why is it so? Why we use all these handles that are either made up of plastic or wooden? So there is this another activity that we will discuss, that what is the necessity of having these handles. So you know how to make an electric circuit to test whether electricity can pass through an object or not. You might have performed the activity with various objects. Now repeat the activity with the materials. Observe and group these materials into good conductors and poor conductors. So if we speak about an electric a conductivity test and activity test, where there is an electric tester. So you are also into the figure, you can see that there is a cell over the left hand side, and there is a material cap, that is an iron nail, in the middle and a bulb is glowing over there on the corner, right hand side corner. So while we put different objects in the place of the iron nail, we replace the iron nail. Suppose if we replace the iron nail with plastic, so what will happen? Will the current from the cell pass to the circuit or not? So the answer will be no, because plastic does not conduct electricity. And similarly, if you keep here a rod, iron rod, so what will happen? So if there is an iron rod over here, the current will pass, and as the current pass, the bulb will glow. Now similarly, suppose if you have kept here a piece of wooden block, so if you pass the current, again the bulb will not glow. And why is it so? Because the wooden block does not pass electricity. So after switching off many other objects like this, you will find out that there are some objects that block the current and does not let current pass through them, and there are some objects through which the current smoothly passes out and the bulb glows. So while speaking about these objects, there are two types of objects. They are called poor conductors and good conductors. So all those things, all those conductors, all those objects through which electricity gets passed or the heat gets passed are called good conductors, while all those objects through which the electricity or heat get blocks away are called poor conductors. Now when we speak about electricity and heat, to them good conductors are those which are making them able to pass the electricity. But for us, that is for human beings, good conductors are those substances which are not good for us, which are actually very much poor for us. So this is a two-sided thing. For electricity, for if electricity it is good, so for human beings it is bad, and for if electricity it is poor conductor, so for humans it is a good conductor. So that is how, if you observe that the iron rod, nail, copper wire, these all are the good conductors, while if you keep a sulfur piece or a coal piece, these are all the poor conductors. So from this we can know that which of the metals are poor conductors and which are the good conductors. So conductivity, that means to get the things pass from them. So there are various types of materials which let the things pass through them, and there are different types of material which do not let things pass from them. So this was about the conductivity, and we have also learnt about malleability and conductivity. The rest of the properties we will discuss in the next class, and the next property is ductility, which we are going to learn about in the next class. So hope this much is clear to you. Please reread again. Take care, stay safe, stay home, keep studying.